and you'll find many authentic items of Americana in the museum and other buildings. Our city is complete with a stagecoach line and a railhead, and you can take a ride to somewhere every 10 minutes or go by pony.
Stay off the street, please. Behind the hitching rail, thank you.
There, you hear that fanfare? That's going to indicate it's time for a dramatization, taken from the pages of the history of the West. Our stage is the city street, so when you hear this fanfare, stand back of the hitching rails and up on the porches and follow the directions of this announcer. Then all shows will hit the trail as scheduled. So, what do you say? Let's try it. That's it. Wild West City proudly presents the hero image of every boy and girl, the colorful American Cowboy! That's him. Some folks call him a cowpoke, and some call him a buckaroo or a cowpuncher. He worked on the ranches, and he helped drive the cattle to the railheads for shipment. Out in the Old West, they called everything a bull, a steer, a heifer. They called them all cows, so we say he worked with the cows. Next, the man who keeps law and order in Wild West City, also the fastest gun in the West, the Marshal of Wild West City. Marshal of Wild West City. Marshal has the power to deputize any of you cowpokes. He has the power to deputize you if outlaws start cutting up. However, the Marshal's cleaned up Wild West City. And when a Marshal brings law and order to a western frontier town, the word spreads pretty fast, and it's usually not too long before a character of the Old West, known as a Gunslinger, comes riding the trail towards the Marshal's town, and that's why Boot Hill's getting full. Isn't that right, Marshal? There he is. There they go. Let's give the Marshal and the cowboys a great big send-off. Now, boys and girls, stay right where you are. There's going to be action in Wild West City and 2 shakes of a prairie dog's mustache. How's that, mister? I never heard of a prairie dog joining the American Kennel Club. No, it didn't. Ladies and gentlemen, cowboys and cowgirls, each morning at this time the flag is raised here in Wild West City. The flagpole is located on the corner of the town hall, and the cowboys of Wild West City invite you to join them in their flag-raising ceremony in tribute to our American heritage. Tribute to our American heritage, it is well to remember that patriotism was born on the frontier, and acts of patriotism, surrounded as they were by acts of selfishness, greed, and cruelty, stood out as being all the more gallant. This brand of patriotism, a part of our heritage, has set the standard by which men are judged worthy to live the American way of life. guys ride off. But folks, stay right where you are, for it's on with the show in Wild West City. Mention the old Wild West, and in your mind a picture forms. It is a dusty, deserted street in a frontier town. Two men stand facing each other, 6 guns slung low. They are tense, motionless, and their hands reach ready at their side. One is a lawman, the other is a stranger. Then quicker than the eye, guns are drawn, fired. If death takes the lawman, the stranger will mount his horse and ride slowly out of town, and no one will stop him. He has gunned down the fastest man around. And his reason for gunning down the lawman was because he was the fastest gun around. The stranger is a gunslinger. Wild West City brings the gunslinger, the juvenile delinquent of the untamed West who seldom lived past 25, brings him out of the past. So please clear the city street and stand back of the hitching rails and be a witness to the gunslinger and the lawman. Town a stranger rides. He rides to draw and shoot against a man he has never seen. A man he only knows as being the fastest gun in the West. And the reason he rides is because the man is the fastest gun in the West. He is the marshal of Wild West City. This gunslinger is driven by a strange compulsion to prove himself faster than the marshal and improve his reputation in standing as a killer. He holds his horse to a slow, collected walk, and his cold eyes show no fear, for he has lived this moment over and over, this moment of meeting the fastest gun in the West. From a time early in life when hatred chose his destiny, every effort led to this moment. As the stranger passes the marshal's office, he reins in lightly. The marshal has stepped from the porch and stands by a hitching rail, returning the stranger's gaze with one of contempt. With a devil's grin, the stranger rides on. He ties up his horse at the Silver Dollar Saloon. Stepping out into the street, he flexes his fingers, stiffens with confidence, and facing the marshal's office, he begins his walk of death. His walk displays the pride of an artist. The marshal has known that someday this kid would ride into town. They all do. And so the marshal, a veteran of many such encounters, once again steps out to meet a gunslinger. As the stranger walks slowly, a following step betrays a speck of doubt. The stranger sees on the face of the lawman the look he believes the lawman sees upon the stranger. The look of the unbeatable foe. The gunslinger draws, panics, and fires! In haste, he drew and fired and missed. And the sound of the accurate shot fired by the marshal overrode his own, and the bullet tore his life away. The Gunslinger and the Lawman. Sidewalk, look out. I see a cloud of dust, a green cloud of dust way out there on the prairie, and it's heading this way. It's time for the Pony Express rider to hit his way station in Wild West City. How you doing? You can send mail from St. Joseph, Missouri to California by way of Pony Express. Horses and riders with the hardiest that could be found. Way stations are set up every 10 miles where the riders change horses. And each rider rode 75 to 100 miles, making a round trip twice a week. They faced all kinds of dangers in the wilderness, such as Indians, wild animals, weather. Buffalo Bill Cody and Old Bill Hickok were Pony Express riders. So was Pony Bob Haslett, who once galloped 380 miles through country swarming with Indians on the warpath. I'd say that was worth $5 an ounce, wouldn't you? Heads up, here he comes. Pony Express riders galloping into the Wild West City way station to change horses and be off again. If you have mail, any cards or souvenirs, they'll take the first lap of the journey by way of Wild West City Pony Express.
besides just being any other ordinary horse race, it is also a hat race. What I'll do is, I'll introduce each rider and his horse. They'll come up here to the top of town by the Golden Nugget Saloon. I'll tell you a little bit about the rider and the horse that he is riding. And after the introductions, they'll deposit their hats on a pole stand. Make any last minute adjustments to the saddles if necessary. Then head on down to the stagecoach loading dock, where that will be the start and the finish line of today's race. At the start of the race, they'll bolt up here to the top of town by the Golden Nugget. Make any last minute adjustments to the saddles if necessary. Then head on down to the stagecoach loading dock, where that will be the start and the finish line of today's race. Frank over this illustrious Cowboy Competition leader has done a super job, to say the least. He's riding a horse in Alamo that definitely does have a surplus of speed, and Alamo does circle that pole stand fairly well for Frank when he does get him up here to the top of town. And that is the combination of Frank Benson and Alamo. And that number 2 slot, Cowboy Competition competitor for quite a number of seasons now, aboard another feisty mount by the name of Fancy, is Al Choron. Also in that time period has done a very good job, to say the least. He's riding a horse in Fancy that also has a surplus of speed, and Fancy also circles that pole stand fairly well for Al when he does get her up here to the top of town. That is the combination of Al Choron and Fancy. All right, folks, there are the riders and the horses. So, who's going to be? Frank Benson and Alamo to my left, or Al Choron and Fancy to my right. And once again, a word of caution to all you cowpokes and cowgirls to kindly stay back behind the hitching rail. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Once the boys make their way down that starting line area, and they do have their horses properly set, and their hands are up in the air to show that they are ready, we'll have ourselves a horse race. Alright, they're about ready to get set up. They're about ready to make that lazy loop. And they're off, and here they come. They checked them coming out of the starting line. That was a good move. Now they're coming up around the pole stand, and this is where it gets tricky. Now undershot it. There goes Frank. He's got his hat. There goes Al Choron. He got his hat. Now the only thing is, Frank's got to better get going, or else he's going to end up having Al Choron pass him. But I think Frank just finished number 1. I think Frank is victorious this morning in the first Cowboy Competition of the 2018 campaign. All right, well done. Frank Benson and Alamo. Number 1, Al Choron having some problems up at the top of town, finishing the race in number 2. And that does conclude this morning's Cowboy Competition. Coming up next, in just about 7 minutes or so, will be Elmer the Easterner. As a dude from the East saunters right to the heart of the West, Elmer the Easterner coming up next. Right.
He's still here.
Commercials you're doing.
I would say it's amusement.
There's still a road sign when you get off that 46 coming east, and
Palisades Park, 12 miles or so.
Are you serious?
I'm surprised nobody has stolen it.
Oh my God.
That's a collector's item.
It's a collector's.
He started working here when he got out of the Marines. He used to work down in Lakewood, which is Edward City.
Oh, okay.
And he opened a business.
How you doing, cowboy? Hey, don't go too far. You know, I hear there's some bad guys coming into town. We're gonna have to go catch them in a little while. Okay? All right. I know you want to come. Huh? Hi, Rob.
How are you? Okay.
With your holster.
He's heading for Doc Holliday's office. That's him. Wild West City's answer to the population explosion. Burying them, a persistent undertaking. Watch out for that thing he's a-carrying. That's his tape measure. And as the saying goes, if you're measured by its burying dam, you're headed for the promised land. There you go. Just like a big beat bird. Right into Doc Holliday's office. Looky, he's dragging out something. Big like he's dragging out a dang fine box. The undertaking kind. Let me see. I can't think of anyone dead around here. Hey, Dan, there ain't nobody what's dead. I mean that kind of dead.
Box! Get your box!
Sure, it's a
Get
nice
my
box.
box! Get a box!
But every day you drag it out like a spider weaving a web.
Oh!
Ain't like you was selling pots and pans. It ain't ethical. And I hear tell you've been spreading tales to Gunslinger that our fine, upstanding marshal is taking on all comers.